Holly.
Hey, Ann.
I'm here with my most amazing friend, Holley Gerth, who is the author of the new book, You Are Made for God-Sized Dreams. Holly, can you tell me, oh girl, what's a God-sized dream?
A God-sized dream is a desire in your heart for more of what He has for you. So it's not really about size at all. It can be something little or something big, but what matters is that it perfectly fits the size of your heart.
Okay, so what might that look like for somebody, Holly?
Well, a God-sized dream might be writing a book, or raising your kiddos, or traveling across the world to do a nonprofit organization. It really can be anything that God says, I'd like for you to say yes to this.
Okay, how do you... You're in the thick of it. How do you even know what counts as a dream? How do you know what that dream is or find out what that dream is, Holly, and not miss it?
Yes. If you're looking for a God-sized dream, the best place to start is with asking, who am I? Who has God created me to be? In other words, what are my strengths?
Okay.
And then what are my skills? What do I do well? And then who am I called to serve? So if you think of those as like 30 circles that overlap, that middle part where who you are, what you do well, and who you're called to serve comes together, that's probably where your God-sized dream is going to come from.
So to take the time to look at skills, strengths, serve.
Yes.
And out of that, God will speak to you about where He's called you.
Yes, and it may be a short process or a long process, but I think if you just are aware of that and just ask Him, if there's anything you'd like for me to see in this area, just go ahead and show me. Then He'll do that in His perfect timing.
His perfect time. And when you get to the place of God's revealed to you what He's calling you to do for His purposes and His glory. And I speak of what I know. What do you do with all the fear?
Yeah, I think you speak of what we all know. Just first knowing that fear is a universal human emotion. There's no way to pursue a God-sized dream without feeling fear, because we have been given a flight or fight system that labels anything outside our comfort zone a threat. And so obviously a God-sized dream is outside our comfort zone, and God knows that about us. So in Scripture, when He says, do not be afraid, it's almost always to someone who's already feeling fear. So just knowing it's okay to feel afraid, but you can choose to move forward in faith anyway. And that fear, I say, is like a chihuahua that sounds like a Doberman. So its bark is much worse than its bite. It can't really hurt you.
It can't really hurt you.
Yeah. So just go ahead and go, okay, there's that fear. I'm going to go ahead and move forward anyway.
And that the righteous shall live by faith. We're memorizing Romans. And when you're living by faith, you've already stepped out of your comfort zone. That's probably a place where you feel afraid. And God knows that, right?
Yes,
He says,
He does.
do not be afraid.
Yeah.
Keep moving with me.
Yeah, and I'll be with you.
I need to hear that one. Okay, Holly. We know what the dream is. We know that fear, we move through the fear anyways because we were with our Father.
Yes.
How do we know what success looks like?
I think that's a really important question too. And one passage I've been thinking about a lot is the one where the Master says, well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord. And I love that because enter into is an ongoing joy. That means His joy in us doesn't start when we get to heaven. We can bring our Master joy every day. And that's success.
That's success.
That's
success. Right where you are.
Yeah. So if you're changing diapers and that's what you're called to do that day.
And you're being faithful.
Yep.
You are being faithful.
That brings
well
our
done,
Master
good
joy.
and faithful servant.
Yes.
Okay, Holly, what does the good look like at a good and faithful servant?
I think good talks about our character, again, who we are, that we say, God, I want to be who you've called me to be. And that is a lifelong process that none of us will, perfect until heaven. But just having a desire to say, I want to use all that I am for all that you have for me. Is the good. And faithful talks about what we do, that we make the choice each day to get up and say, I'm yours. I'll say yes to what you have for me. I'll be obedient. And again, just keep moving forward, one little step at a time.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Thank you, Holly, for caring about God's daughters and saying God's called you to do something eternal for His purposes and His glory, and that women need to answer that call He has in their lives.
Yeah.
You have done this in powerful ways for me and mentored me. And I And when I've wanted to run in fear, you've shown me how to keep taking Jesus' hand and stepping forward into things that they're God-sized dreams. They're beyond us. So
Yes.
thank you. I'm wearing my bracelet that says dream God-sized dreams. It's not about us. It's about Him.
Absolutely.
And what He's calling for us to do, to give Him glory and to fulfill His kingdom come.
Yep. The giver of the dream is the very best part.
It's the very best. Thank
Right.
you, Holley
Love you,
Gerth.
Ian.
Thank you.
Thank you, friend.